Hi everyone. Hello and happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to Crazy Kalyn Vlogs. Here I am. I'm back with you. I am so happy to be just sitting here, relaxing for a moment and spending some quality time. Over here on Crazy Kalyn Vlogs, that's pretty much what we do is hang out with one another. We have coffee with Kalyn Chats, to which I don't have coffee today. I have a little bit of a water packet in this cup right here that I had iced tea in this morning, but I am going to have a chat with you. Yes, I am. And this is my secondary channel. I do have a main channel, which is Crazy Days of Kalyn, and I haul from the Dollar Tree on Saturdays, Mondays, and Wednesdays over there. And because of all the great connections that I made on my main channel, I decided to have just a downtime channel where I like to share all kinds of things with you. There is no rhyme, reason, scheduling, or anything else pertaining to this channel. This is just when I have a moment to catch up with you guys, hang out, show you cool things if I find things from outside of the Dollar Tree that are reasonable prices, and just to show you our everyday life. We do have a vacation coming up that I've mentioned. I believe I've mentioned it over here, and we are going to the Poconos. Richie and I are going to the Poconos. I'm super duper excited about it. It's only Richie and I, and it's time for Richie and I to get our groove back, and we've been working toward that the last couple of years. We have an adult son that is going to be 21 years old this year. He is very, very independent. We're super duper proud of him, and he is doing his thing. So he's out living his adult life for the most part. We connect and go on family vacations together at least once a year. But now it's time for Richie and us to go out and have our time. And that is another part of parenting that I am going to thoroughly enjoy, parenting an adult human being at this point. Richie and I have more time for each other, which we need good good quality time together. So I'm very excited for that part of our life to come to us and for us to start enjoying things just the two of us. So we're going to the Poconos for a week. If you are over on the other channel, I will be pre-recording hauls for that week so that they will be posted on their regular scheduled days. And then Richie and I are going to the Poconos. Pennsylvania is one of the states that I have been to the most in the USA, and that is a place that is a home away from home. I absolutely love Pennsylvania. That is a place that I do think that we could possibly partially live in at some point. We have gone there upwards of 20 times in all the vacations that we've gone to, and it is our favorite place to be away from this vicinity of, New England. So the Poconos is a place that we've been through, stopped at, and all that stuff, but we've never actually just vacationed there. And that is a relaxing, romantic type of place that's just kind of like downtime, nature, just spending some good quality time together and beauty and happiness. And I've been to so many different parts of Pennsylvania. I cannot even tell you how many. So many different reasons we've gone there and people to see and all the wonderful things. Plus, the beauty of it is absolutely astounding to me. I have been so many different areas of Pennsylvania, and there is not one part of it that I have not enjoyed thoroughly. I just absolutely I love every bit of it. I love the people there. I love all of it. So I'm very excited to go back. I'm always excited. Every year we plan a vacation. We're like, okay, where are we going to head this year? And it's always something related to Pennsylvania at some point during the year. So this will be our trip for this year, and I am ready to go. I'm so ready to go. I think we leave on April 8th, so I can't wait for it. I absolutely can't. Plus, we just like to put around. Now that Richie and I have some time together, we have more availability to be, adulting with one another. We like to put around. We are not, big outgoing people anymore. That was definitely us back in the day, but we have slowed down quite a bit when it comes to entertaining things. We like to just kind of chill. If we don't have a whole family to do stuff with, like go on vacations that pertain to going to amusement parks and all kinds of recreational activities, when it's just him and I, we like to lay down, take naps, sleep in late. We like to wake up slowly with coffee on a porch overlooking a nice view. We like to go for walks. We like to go just put around small stores or go thrifting when we're on vacation. Very, very just downtime type of stuff that we just enjoy one another and the quiet. So that is going to be so much fun. We've looked up the whole area that we're in. We're going to be around a bunch of different Dollar Trees that we can get to within a reasonable amount of time to where we're staying. We can't wait to show you what we're doing there. I'll share pictures, I'll take videos, and we'll try to piece it together to share some moments with you when we're on vacation. So I'm just so thankful for it, the fact that that's coming. And then we have camp in just a couple more months with, Isaiah and Cindy, because we go on a double date camp week. So I'm happy about that too. And that will be shared with you guys as well. Now, outside of the realm of this type of topic, I do want to share really quick that I hauled some fabric over on my main channel from the Dollar Tree. I hauled some stuffing as well, and I crafted up a sensory pillow. I am calling it a sensory pillow because personally, to me, it is that. So there is that side. And I'm trying to not talk when I back up because I know that my laptop is weird with the sound when I move around too much or I pick up objects. So I'm going to try to just slow down my talking when I'm moving. And then there's that side. So what I'm doing with this is I have anxiety. I was diagnosed in my very early 20s, but it is something that I've been experiencing since I was a child. I just never realized that that was what it was. I couldn't really articulate what I was going through. I can remember having panic attacks as far back as when I was maybe around 7, 8 years old, and feeling the feelings that I continued to feel from time to time as I was growing up through my teenage years, as I was becoming a mom in my very early 20s, and the feelings were ramping up to a very heightened level that was making me very sick and having, a lot of medical scenarios have to happen to check me out and see if all these other things were coming into play. And every single time that I was being checked out for all of these different symptoms that were taking over me, they continued to tell me that you have anxiety, you're having a panic attack, you're having all of these scenarios, you need to see somebody about it. So since my early 20s, slowly but surely, over all of these years, almost 20 years now that I've been actually diagnosed with anxiety, I've learned different techniques and tricks and things like that to handle my anxiety, to prepare myself for it when I feel it coming on, and to work myself through it when I'm actually going through it so that I don't have to have medical intervention if I can help it. So, I have a lot of different things that I've personally come up with myself. I do not take any medication for it. I have never taken medication for it. I've been prescribed it time and time again. It's just not something personally that I want for myself. So, what I've done to handle my anxiety is a counselor. I have gone to counseling since my early 20s. I meet with that person once a week, and it is very helpful to work through things, to hash things out, and to learn different techniques through that avenue to handle and prepare myself and get through my anxiety disorder, especially when it's spiking, so that I don't go into full-blown panic attacks like I did so consistently for about 10 years straight before I got a decent enough handle on it that I could get myself and manage myself through them. I've also learned to find different things that soothe me, that I can self-soothe with when I'm dealing with it. And I have found that sensory things are very, very important to me and getting myself through those really troublesome, trying moments that I feel absolutely out of body experience sick. So I made this with the fabric and the stuffing that I hauled. And this is two different style materials that I found from the Dollar Tree. This one has a fuzzy softness to it. This one is like a Sherpa feeling. So the Sherpa feeling is this mustard yellow one and also the white little square right here that I cut into a square. And then on the back, it's this pink Sherpa looking material right here. So I'll show you this side first since we're already over here. This side I kept plain without any trim on it. And I just cut the little squares out and positioned them into diamond shapes because I enjoy looking at diamond shapes. So I positioned them in the diamond shape for that reason, for visual, engagement. I didn't put any trim on this side at all along those squares that are diamond shaped because I wanted this side to be able to touch and feel with my face if I wanted to lay on it, cozy up with it, and wrap myself with it, like around my head and around my neck area so that I could feel really securely tucked in. So I kept this side pretty plain. The stuffing went a really long way. That is the full bag of stuffing that I had hauled also. And then on this side I did add trim. Now this is Easter trim from last year's hauling from the Dollar Tree. And I went to my craft room, I pulled it out, and I thought it worked really, really well. So the textures of the pom-poms is just fun to roll around and manipulate in my hands and my fingers. It just gives me something to focus on my hands. And then over here, this little strip right here that's kind of wavy has more of a rough texture and there's a ridge to it. So it's a different feeling and it's really quite cool and soothing. And I can just focus on the way that my fingers feel running over that. So I enjoy that very much. So each and every one have the pom-poms and that ridged twirly look to that trim. So I hot glued all of that on there. So that's what I did with it. And then, like I said, this is such a fuzzy, soft material right here in the middle. That probably is my favorite feeling for my hands. And then that Sherpa feeling is good to like soak in, my warmth when I'm laying on it. So I put this all together with probably about $5.25 in total between the hot glue, the stuffing, and the different fabrics. So I'm just letting you guys know that just in case that's something that you would be interested in doing as well. Along with that, I have a weighted blanket and I love to be tucked in really tight. When I start to feel like my anxiety come on and I start to feel my anxiousness really starting to make my chest tight, my heart palpitate, my anxiety, starting to make my breathing a little bit more fast paced and hyperventilating a little bit. Richie, when he is around, he will come in and he will burrito me. And we kind of came up with that because I really liked to be tucked in really, really tight when I was having anxiety. And I always liked to feel very secure and kind of cocooned. So with my weighted blanket and some other very fuzzy, soft blankets that I have with me just for those moments, he tucks me in, he wraps up my feet, tucks all of the sides in underneath me, all the way around my shoulders, and then he puts the blankets up over my ears so that sound is a little bit calmer and muffled. But I do not like total silence because then my thoughts continue to run away with themselves and I start to feel more anxious. So with soothing sound like one of my meditation songs on or my music, I like chimes and I also like ocean sounds if I'm going to put it on my phone and have it next to my head while I'm in that burrito type of like positioning. And I just close my eyes and I like to count. I like to count in sequences of numbers that are very significant to me. I love the number 13, 3, I should have started with that. 3, 13, 33, 63, and 11. So those are the numbers, and I will pick one of those numbers, and every time I hit one of those targets, I will usually start over. It just depends on how bad my anxiety is ramping up and how far I can get to the furthest number that I enjoy the most, which would be 63. So I have very different and unusual ways that I have figured out how to soothe myself other than taking medication. Lots of different things spike my anxiety. I definitely have anxiety just sometimes randomly. I think if you have anxiety disorder, you sometimes don't even have to be triggered with any specific thing. You can just all of a sudden get this feeling of complete overwhelm and start to feel that anxiousness building up inside of you. Other times, my biggest anxiety trigger is my husband being really ill. Going to the hospital is a huge trigger for me. Anything medical at this point is a very big trigger to me because of what I have seen him go through his diagnosis of type 1 diabetes since we were in our early 30s. And we've been through a lot of traumatizing things for that. That is a huge trigger for my spike in anxiousness that creates the anxiety to kind of take off for me. I really don't like crowds. I really don't like to be around a really large amount of people at one time. I have to very much mentally prepare myself to get to a point where I can be around a even 10 to 15 people. I will get very anxious if I'm in that type of a situation. I have to know well in advance so that I can kind of get ready for it mentally. And if I don't have that preparation time, sometimes I might have to come back to the car, whether I'm in a store or we've gone out for a family type of situation and there's a lot of people. There are times I will feel so much anxiousness that turns into anxiety and starts to become a panic attack that I will go back to the car. And the car is very soothing for me as well. I have found that putting the car seat warmer on and putting a show on my phone that I can engage in, usually something comedy related, and I can tune into that and I can manipulate something. I always have a tote bag with me with some manipulation and soothing things inside of it that I keep with me all day long, everywhere I go. And so manipulating something, feeling very warm and secure if I'm away from the house, and zeroing in on something that is funny, can make me smile, can kind of slowly but surely work me out of that headspace, makes me feel like I'm gaining control of myself slowly but surely. And 9 times out of 10, at this point, I can get through my anxiety before it becomes a panic attack. And I can't tell you how many years that I lost on doing really important, wonderful things that I was excited to do, but would end up with me being really unwell. I've been at amusement parks with my son when he was small, with huge groups of friends and lots of other kids, for him to go with. And I have had major anxiety attacks and had to leave and ended up having really sick days ahead. Sometimes my anxiety attacks last for 2 or 3 days at a time, and it takes away from my life. So everything that I do, I kind of prepare myself for just in case of an emergency. I know so many people at this point in this world have anxiety disorder, and I do know so many people that still feel shameful to talk about it, be open, honest, and truthful about what they go through, just because they feel like maybe they're the only ones that experience this or that nobody will understand them. So that's kind of why I really wanted to make a separate video other than just mentioning this on my other channel, to share with you guys that it's nothing to be ashamed of. I can't even tell you the amount of things that I have gone through in my life and the things that have brought me to those really bad times of having to go to the hospital and have EKGs and all kinds of blood work done, assuming that I had something that was going to, harm me or make me leave this world. And everything always came out to be, you have anxiety disorder. You need to be seen specifically for that so that you can be treated. And, it took me so many years to fully, honestly, and truly express myself and what I actually was dealing with to so many people. Even my family didn't know. It was very much, just kind of like I was in the closet about it for a very long time. Nobody understood when I would disappear places. Nobody understood, why they wouldn't hear from me for days or weeks at a time, and it was all because I was hiding how much I was suffering through those times that I didn't know how to handle it, and I didn't know how to treat it, and I didn't understand myself and what was happening to me, and I didn't know how to express it to another person to assume that they could ever possibly get what I was going through. So I hope that you're somebody that can talk about it. If you have somebody that you feel trustworthy with and that you can have a open rapport with, even if it's just one person, to speak to them about it. You don't even know, maybe they haven't and don't talk about it themselves, or they even just experience some symptoms that you can relate on. It's so good to have a support system as well for people to be a part of it with you, so that it's not you just being isolated with it alone. um, I can't express how much it's changed my life, learning different ways of handling it, and recognizing it and knowing when I need to kind of step back a moment and take care of myself a little bit extra so that I can get through it. And and just excuse myself from really important things to take care of myself and not feel guilt related to it. Guilt is a huge thing for me. I'm a very sensitive person. And so the people that I love and care for and all that stuff are, I always put everybody above myself, and I would never want to disappoint anybody. And I would never want to hurt anybody's feelings and make them feel like I didn't want to be a part of things or things like that. So I found myself just trying to push through it, and ended up almost every time harming me more, forcing things that I just wasn't able to do. So it's really important to me personally in my own journey to be honest that I need time to take care of me. I need some downtime. I need to be quiet. I need to isolate, just for my own peace of mind, quiet. I just really enjoy at this part of my life finding out more about who I am and how to take care of me as a number one priority, like I've always taken care of everyone else. And a huge part of that is taking care of my anxiety disorder. So I don't know if you have any of these techniques. I have nothing against, by the way, I just want to make sure I'm clear on that. I have nothing against medicine. If you are somebody that takes medication and that is something that's beneficial to you, that helps you and all that stuff, that is wonderful. And I'm glad that you found that avenue to help you and get you through the things that you deal with. I just am not somebody personally that likes anything foreign. Would I say foreign? Probably not. I just don't like things in my body. I don't know. I'm weird about it. My mom used to chase me around my house with Tylenol if I was super duper sick when I was little. I never wanted any medication. I don't know why I'm like that. I have no clue. I have no idea. But since I was teeny tiny, I can always remember closing my mouth really, really tight and saying I didn't want it. It wasn't just because of the taste of it. It was because I just didn't want anything weird going inside of me that I didn't know what it was, and it just always stuck with me. I don't know why, but it just always stuck with me. And so have I taken medication for many things over my life? Absolutely. But there's just some things that I do try to do more naturally for myself personally than, somebody else might choose to do. So as long as I can do it, I will do it. And if I ever came to the point where I absolutely had no choice but to need medication to help me through something, then that would be something that I would have to, work out with the doctor and figure out a good direction for me to go in personally. But for right now, for all of these years since I was 22 years old, I have been able to navigate this and work through it, finding all different ways to handle it for myself personally, for the last 20 years. So just making that absolutely clear. I have nothing against anything that everybody is their own person is what I'm saying. And whatever works for you, that makes me happy if it works for you. So I got to do what works for me. And so all these little tricks and little different ways of handling it is something that, is helping me for now. For now, and I hope for always, because, I've found really cool, weird, unusual things that just kind of soothe me. I love to go to the beach and watch the ocean and just kind of pray. I love the beach. The beach is like a church to me. It's some place that I feel very connected to spiritually in every way. And I feel like it's the best place for me to connect with people that I miss a lot that have gone on to a different place. And that's very self-soothing for me to just sit there and talk out loud to the people that I miss and to God, because that's what I believe in, and to find that peace by doing that. So there's just a lot of little weird things, maybe weird to you, or maybe not, or maybe there's things that you do as well, but everybody does something a little bit different. So I just wanted to share mine really quick. I think that, my journey here on YouTube is, uh, uh, fun and exciting and happiness and joyful and all that stuff. But I always want you to know that there is many different sides to me. I have so much depth. I think, when you really dig inside of yourself, you find that, you're made up of so many different things: joy, happiness, sadness, traumas, just so many complex and unique to yourself personality traits and all different types of things that have impacted you to make you who you are. And so, other than just my happy, jovial, wild, crazy, eccentric self, I do have a lot of things that, are very deep and um just they're what makes me me. So I want you to know all parts of me: the good, the bad, the sad, and all the things that you feel connected with me through. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. And I hope you like the pillow, because I really love that pillow. I really love that pillow. Since last night I made it, I've been holding on to it and touching it all day and feeling it and stuff like that. And so even though I'm not having any major anxiety spikes today, I think it's going to be a really great tool for me, and I'm happy to have it. So it was a cheap way to make something very special, and maybe it gave you guys an idea that you could make something for yourself, even just from Dollar Tree pickups. So I hope you do, and I love all you beautiful faces. So thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for listening to me ramble on and on and on like I usually do. So much that I need a little sip of the pip at the moment. And I will see you guys on Happy Wednesday Dollar Tree haul over on Crazy Days of Kalyn. If you're over there, I will see you tomorrow, bright and early in the morning. And I love all your beautiful faces, and I hope you have a beautiful, special, wonderful day. And my SpongeBob birdie boy says bye too. I can hear it. I can hear it. Love you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.